Alright, what is going on YouTube? And today we are hitting some legs. And before we get going in this video, I just want to say that I don't really care about legs in a bodybuilding sense. So I don't want massive girth gams on my legs. I want high performance, explosive rockets. So what that means is a leg workout, even on the bro split for me, does not look like the traditional high volume quad extensions, my feet propped up on a little plate doing arse to grass squats and whatnot. I go for a lot lower reps. If I was trying to build up some girth on my quads, on the gams, I would be going for like 5x5 on squats. That's what I'd be doing. I actually do love, and for those of you who have seen my how to fix pain in your glute while squatting video, which I'll link down below, now you guys are getting what an actual leg workout for me looks like. I do talk about doing the 5x5 and loving the 5x5 for legs. But right now, I just I enlisted in a new powerlifting meet on November 22nd. So my leg workouts are going to be powerlifting centric right now, especially because I really don't care about how my legs look. Everybody says, oh, like nobody wants to see chicken legs when you have like a built upper body. And I clearly don't have chicken legs, but I don't think even the Huz can, you know, like everybody wants to see like the humongous striated quads that are choking your balls. And that's the next thing I want to talk about. If your quads get too big, they, you know, crowd your scrot. And when that happens, your scrot heats up. And heat is bad for the swimmers. So if you care about your motility, that'd be something you want to look out for. You don't want to get your quads too big. That's not contraceptive advice either, yeah, it's just, not that I even care that much, it feels like a bad thing to be harming cells in my body, so, I don't know. And that's just one confirmation of why I don't really want to have too massive of legs, but I do want to have strong and explosive legs. So what this workout is going to look like for me is, I just started off with a warm-up mile, and then I sprinted 2 20s and 2 40s because I'm all about the explosiveness and athletic function of the lower body. And then I ran the hill that I seem to run before all of the workouts I record on this channel, but I promise you, I do not do the hill every single day. It just happens to line up on the day I'm recording a lot, just due to how busy I am throughout the week, just the day to do it. But I did that, so the hill already smoked my quads. So even if I did want to get some quad isolation in there, the hill basically did that because I was feeling it in my quadriceps. So my blood's flowing, body's warmed, and the heart is already pumping. So now all I need to do is just do what I usually do before my squatting. I do leg swings, hip openers, and hip closers. And I go through that twice. Don't really keep a specific number in mind. Usually it's somewhere between 6 and 8 reps of each of these warm-ups. Then I start with a bar, go bar and a plate. Then I add a 25. Sometimes I go straight to 2 plates, then 275, 2 plates and a 25, and then 3. And then we're in the danger zone, baby. We're building up to a slow climb of some heavyweight singles on the squat. And we're doing back squat because we're trying to get ready for a powerlifting meet. And then we are going to do a drop set of like 4 reps at a slightly lighter weight. Probably 315, and we'll do like just 4 or 5 reps of 315 a couple times. Then I'll do some unilateral squats, the bar on my back, and then I'll do hip thrusts, and that'll pretty much be a day for me because I already did the sprinting, already did the hill, so we're looking good so far. Alright, so now we're going to start the steady climb. Don't mind the stubble. I don't like the look, but I might be moist critical for Halloween, so that's why I'm growing out the facial hair. just in case, but I don't even think it's going to get thick enough by then, so we'll just see. Yeah. So when I squat back, I'm trying to lead by pushing my butt back and then just letting everything drop down in place. My quads already feel extremely tender from running the hill. I try to imagine 4 plates already on the bar when I'm doing my warm-up. Just to kind of help me visualize myself effortlessly moving a lot of weight. Also, so some people who are into powerlifting might not know this, but at a powerlifting meet, you don't have a mirror to squat in front of. So I like to position, well, at the gym, I just switch around the rack in a way that you can't really see the mirror. So in the multi-purpose squat rack, I just flip the little rack hinges around. And right here, my mirror rests on like this door. And so I just open the door. You can see right here, there's just a little attic or freaking closet right there. I just closed the, I just opened the door so you can't see the mirror anymore. To kind of prepare me for squatting depth without actually having a mirror, which is huge. And for me personally, it takes a lot of practice to get that down. So I'm gonna try to keep the camera rolling, not make too many cuts in this video. Trying to get better at the filmography of lifting, making lifting videos. So now we're at a plate. Yeah, the knees aren't feeling too spry after running the hill or doing those sprints either. I don't necessarily recommend this style of formatting your leg workout. So I'm doing this because this is the only time I can fit both these workouts in a week. I don't usually sprint and do the hill on my leg workout day. And this is kind of a lot on your body, a lot on your central nervous system. This will lead to a high cortisol spike, this much exercise that is, and that can affect sleep and kind of throw off your whole circadian rhythm in the rest of your day. So I usually don't push my body this much in a day. It's just when I could get my VO2 max work and sprint work in this week, and I needed to get my squat practice in for the powerlifting meet. So this is what we're gonna do. But that is not to say that I recommend formatting your explosive VO2 max and leg training in this exact way. It's just like, I'm taking you through a legit vlog, so this is what it looks like for me on this given week. I've decided I'm gonna play it safe and do 185 for the next set. One really helpful tip that I did get from Squat University is to, when you're going under the bar for your squat, to make sure your hips and shoulders are stacked. So your torso is unracking the bar vertically. You're not kind of, leaning like this and kind of back extending the squat or leaning forward. Heaven forbid leaning backwards when you're unracking it, but just make sure that from your hips to your shoulders, or really from your hips to your rib cage, I think is what Squat University said. They said like stacking the ribs is how you're unracking the weight. So, and that has helped me a lot. It's helped me with the walkout. It's helped me remain sturdy and stable throughout the movement. And then breathe in as I drop down and blast that air out on the way up. All right. Yeah, I don't know. So my original plan was to build up to 355, a single of 355. But I might not even get that today because my knee is feeling a little wobbly. I adjusted the camera angle so we can hopefully view a little more depth in the squat. All right, 275. Literally lightweight, baby. Kind of love tap the safety rack there, which threw me off a little bit. But that rep hurt my knee a little less, so it's kind of a, a win and a loss there. So one thing that I've noticed about training is sometimes you'll feel the most pain during the warm-up of your workout. And those are pretty make or break moments, because what you want to do is kind of listen to your body and feel it out a little bit. You don't want to push it too hard and get seriously injured. But there is a lot of pain, from my personal experience, that goes away once you actually get to the real weight. So basically, you're warming up, the heavier weight you embrace, the more the muscles that are around. So take this for instance. This is where it hurts right here. All of the area around that starts to slowly activate the heavier weight I go, and sometimes that's all it takes, is engaging all of the muscles around the knee or elbow or shoulder, and then the pain goes away for the workout, and then I just stretch afterwards, eat good, and hopefully sleep good. It doesn't always work out that way, but a lot of times that's all it takes to kind of help with the pain. But I'm not saying that's how it works every time. So you really don't want to make crazy jumps when you're dealing with this territory. Crazy jumps in weight. You don't want to do ballistic sets. You want to be mindful and careful. But the reason why I'm telling you this isn't so you lift recklessly. It's because I know for a fact there's a lot of lifters out there who limit themselves and give themselves a crutch just because they feel a twinge of pain, and they think, oh, I don't want to get injured, so I should just not lift, just take some time off until it goes away. That's a horrible mentality to have, because you want to out-train the pain. Think about it. Pain is not always injury. A lot of times you can compare the minor little twinges of pain, like the pinchiness here and there, the slight aches, to things like fears in real life, things that give you anxiety. You don't overcome those things by ignoring them. You got to kind of train through it. And this is exactly why I made the squatting through glute pain video on this channel, because the solution isn't to never squat anymore. That the injury won, and you're not overcoming anything. You are just kind of giving up and let it linger there. Just because you're not feeling the pain doesn't mean the injury isn't still there, if that makes any sense. So what you want to do is fix the root of the cause. And so I tell you guys all this just because I don't want you to miss out on gains. Whether for you gains is losing weight, maybe it's building muscle, maybe it's just becoming more explosive and athletic, building bone density, balance, stability, core strength, endurance, cardiovascular health, whatever the case may be. I don't want you guys to miss out just because you feel a little bit of pain. Pain does not always mean injury, but you just want to be careful. And I say that as I'm doing heavy singles with a hurting knee, which is probably the last thing I would advise, but I'm a trained professional and I know what I'm doing here, and I'm preparing for a powerlifting meet that is hurtling towards me, and I want to be prepared and maybe even give myself a chance to squat 405 pounds at this meet. So we'll see, and you'll see as well. All right, 315, baby. Whew. All right. So that felt good. I will see how it looked, see if it looked good But see, the point that I'm making is that rep was a lot harder than 225, but it hurt my knee a lot less than 225. So another thing that I've kind of found is that my form is a lot better when I get to a resistance range of weight versus like a warm-up range. So take the squat for instance. When I get to 275, I feel like my form is a lot better than a bar or a plate. And that's because when I'm squatting with just the bar, it's a different feeling than 275. 275 requires me to actually squat with good form to complete the movement and actually get that weight up. With a bar, I can, have it behind my back and just start shoulder pressing it. I can start, going forward and back. I can start throwing cheeks with only the bar, or even just a plate. So the heavier in weight I get, the more it kind of forces my body to lock in. When you're truly free weight, what I mean by that is just your body, it takes a different type of balance than when you have 300 pounds on your back. Because you can go forward, you can go back. When you have that much weight on your back, that weight just kind of wants to go down. And so when I have a bar or the plate, my form feels, a little worse. It feels like I'm trying to engage different muscles to more or less do a body weight almost squat than the weighted back squat that I'm training to do for powerlifting. And so when I go up in weight, it forces me to have better form, which in turn I think makes the knee pain go away, because it's a proper squat. My knees need to stay in their proper movement pattern. I'm sure many viewers know what I'm talking about with this phenomenon. But that was 315. We're going to go up to 335 right now and then make a jump to 355. And then we're going to do our drop sets. So for the powerlifting meet and for this prep, I'm probably going to try to train up to 365 pounds for a single. And that's all I'm going to go up to for the training leading up to the powerlifting meet. And I'm going to try to make 365 my squat opener and then go 385 and then 405. That's what I'm going to try to do. Will it work? We're going to find out. And I'm kind of rushing to 365. I've been going up like 10 pounds a week on squat and deadlift, which is definitely not what you want to do, but it was a really quick turnaround time. I went from kind of a deload phase to jumping right into it right away. So I'm making a lot of progression immediately, but in the last 3 weeks, I'm not going to go up in weight at all. I'm just going to stay at 365 for my squat and deadlift opener. Deadlift, we'll see. I might be able to squeeze out more than that for my opener, but I'll probably only train. The point is I'm only going to train up to 365 during my actual workouts preparing for it. So, 335, let's go, baby. Alright, the depth felt questionable on that one, so I'm going to review the footage. So speaking to my point, that didn't really hurt my knee at all, but it was a really, really difficult rep. And this next one is going to be even more difficult and a little scary. That's all I got, right there. This little freaking thing about the size of my foot, that's the safety rack we're working with. It'd almost be more safe for me to drop the weight off my back if I can't get it and just slide out from under, but this is 355. We got 45, 45, 35, 25, and a 5. So 355 pound rep. That last one was challenging. Weird retract, but 355, baby. Woo! Had to throw in the Sentinel Prime edit for that rep. Threw in the AirPods. There's something really important I want to talk to you guys about right here in regards to my squatting methodology here. Under no circumstances do I recommend maxing every week for powerlifting prep. That's not what we're doing here. Although it did look like that. With my left glute injury, I need to feel comfortable with the weight that I might be squatting at the powerlifting meet. So I know that for me right now, 365 is my max. So we're backing out. I know that I can do 345 on squat every week. So I'm trying to build just a little bit off of 345 so I can have a higher weight that I'm competent with squatting every single day, because coming off of the left butt cheek injury, I can't be at a powerlifting meet and just jump into whatever. So say I'm training 5x5 or 4x4 or doing sets of 3, and that's like 315 for 4 is what my sets are. I can't take that and just jump into like 365. I have to be like, okay, I know I'm comfortable doing 345, and I know that if I'm not feeling pain during 345, I can handle a little bit of pain if it pops up at 365. It's not going to cause me to fail the rep and re-injure myself in front of a whole bunch of people watching the powerlifting meet. So I implement a lot of heavyweight singles for my squat prep leading up to the powerlifting meet. That's not what everybody should do, but coming off of the injury, I have to have a level of confidence in the weight that I'm going to deal with on the actual powerlifting meet before I go and do it, especially for squat, because squatting does something to your morale when you fail it. Like, your psyche is physically crushed by the squatting weight. So for me, I like to feel competent, so I just take the heaviest submaximal weight I can go and just get good at squatting it for one singular rep, applying the force from all the muscles throughout the whole body that are used in the squat, and get them ready for applying that to one rep. So that's what we're doing here. And then I'm going to drop the weight a little bit, and we're going to have a kind of working set that's going to be focused on building more muscle and building some strength. It's going to be in that 4 to 6 rep range that I always talk about. That golden powerlifting and bodybuilding sweet spot right there. But yeah, not everybody should be training like I am for this powerlifting meet, because it's too much for some people. And I absolutely do not train like this year round. It's just when I'm about 6 weeks out from a powerlifting meet, which I am right now, I need for myself to be competent with heavyweight singles. So that's what we're doing here. Because for me, just training with reps and building muscle has never equaled an equivalent 1 rep max that you get from like your 1 rep max calculator. Just based on how many you can do a certain weight for, equaling your 1 rep max, that's never been the case for me. I have to get a little better at the neural drive and recruitment for that single rep, so. I think that was somewhere in between 5 and 7 reps. The form on that last one could have definitely probably been better. Getting the spins, brother. Whew. But our form couldn't have been too bad. Because look, the weight barely deviated from its original place on the bar. Whew. Man, I swear, squatting becomes cardio after 4 reps. My butt looked huge. And that's coming from me, someone who actually does some cardio. I, just ran the hill. And squatting for 5+ reps, it gets the heart going. It gets me pretty winded. I run a 6 mile once a week and do a VO2 max training once a week. And squatting just gets the ticker going for some reason. But that was our squatting. I know it's a humble leg workout video, but it's honest. It's practical for me. Not everybody needs some girth gams and training for powerlifting meet. So now we're gonna go into our hip thrusts, and we're gonna call it right there. So we're gonna start with a plate, then probably go 2 plates, and then build up to a 3 plate. And I'm not really gonna give myself a specific rep range I need. Oh, that's the hard part. Ugh. All right. So this is basically just gonna be like glute bridges for reps, not your traditional hip thrusts. And I have the mat right here to protect my neck, so my shoulders, like my rear delts, are kind of locked in place. And the mat is preventing my shoulders from sliding around and thus endangering my neck. So it's protecting my neck. Alright, so next we got 225. And this isn't the type of hip thrust I would be doing if I wanted to get bigger glutes. I want to strengthen my glutes because I have an anterior pelvic tilt, which means if you picture your waist, your pelvis, like your hips and groin, that's a bucket. Mine would be tipping forward a little bit. And so the back of that bucket, picture being your glute. So to bring it back in line, you want to strengthen your abs, pulling it up, and strengthen your glutes, pushing it in. That's the whole gist of it here, of why I am doing glute bridges. Glute bridges are actually my least favorite exercise, or hip thrusts are my least favorite exercise. That's why I'm choosing glute bridges instead, because I only need to strengthen my glutes. I don't need to really hypertrophy them, and I don't love the movement, so. All right, 225. Give it a little pause at the top of the rep. That's all I got for you guys. That is what a leg workout looks like for me right now on the bro split. I know that was kind of underwhelming and it wasn't that many different movements, but honestly you don't need that many movements to grow your legs. You just need a good rep scheme for some good resistance squats, and then you can add whatever accessory work you want after that. If you really want some monster yams, I would say just do Bulgarian split squats, pick the heaviest weight you can do for like 8 to 12 reps and just spam that. Just hit it like once or twice a week even. You'll definitely see some quad growth, for sure. But as somebody who doesn't want to grow their quads that much, I think my quads, they look presentable, and I'm building some strength for the powerlifting meet and fixing some postural deals that you know, the lower body is involved with. So for the people that needed to see what that looks like, there you go. I hope you enjoyed. And for everybody else, you know, that was an hour long. That was intense than all my other workouts I did this week. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you maybe learned something and inspired some people to hit some legs today, because legs is probably the most daunting lift of the week for me. I hate squatting and I hate legs, but I gotta do it. But I love you guys. God bless y'all. Peace out, and I will see y'all next time.